piss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
Shit. Testicles, 1, 2. Testicles. Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen. I am Trebles Garcia, the humble host of this amazing adventure, and I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Paranoid Radio Podcast is back with another dose of greatness. I want you guys to please check us out at paranoidradio.com. Check us out at paranoidradio.com and cup up some of the t-shirts today. Do not forget that word of mouth is one of the most important things that you can do for the show. If you guys are listening or you guys are newcomers, this is not a political podcast. However, we really dive deep into the pool and set the fucking mood, striking with iron is hot at all times. Do not forget to drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. It allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce my co-host, Deep State correspondent from the East Coast, Flashy_News1. What's up, big dog?
Yeah, baby. What's going on, everybody, man? Got a lot to talk about. Shit is popping off. That's why we're here, man. Be the compass in the storm. The compass in the storm.
Yo, and to show a little fucking unity, let me bring up my notes, bro, because we have a long dose of fucking information to bring out. Guys, this episode has a lot of topics, and we're going to give the mic to Flash. You can find Flash at Flashy_News1 on all podcasts. On Instagram. And Flashy, let them know where they can find you on Twitter, bro. Where else can they find you?
Yeah, man. So I'm on Instagram, Flashy_News1, on X, Flashy_NewsX, and as backup, True Social, Flashy_Truth.
That's right. Make sure you check them out. You can also find them on the special guest and links and on the host drop-down menu of paranoidradio.com. Flash, the Chinese spy, hold the front door. Now we don't only have Chinese cop stations now all over the fucking country, but we have a Chinese spy that has come out of the woodworks. Explain, bro.
So, yeah, man, this is all we hear about is Russia, right? And that just shows you how much China does have control over large aspects of our government, right? Because tell me who you're not allowed to talk about, and I'll tell you who's in charge, right? It's a perfect example of that. So the FBI, the DOJ, surprisingly indicted the top aide to Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, my state. This Chinese spy was also working for Governor Cuomo before he left. So she has been there for a long time. Her and her husband both work for the Chinese Communist Party. They are spies, indicted. They admitted to it. They were laundering money. They just bought a $6 million mansion in Long Island with the money they were laundering through the Chinese government. And pretty much what they were doing is they were just selling secrets, given anything they could find out about the state government of New York. They were giving out visas to Chinese immigrants, getting visas quicker, probably for other Chinese communist members to come to America. Probably has something to do with the border being wide open, and all the Chinese people coming through there.
Not a lie.
Yeah, I mean, this is it, bro. A vote for the Democrat Party is a vote for the Chinese Communist Party. That's just plain and simple. So now they're going to run all of these distractions and misdirections, trying to take our eye off of that. And that's why they got the Russia shit now, because they're being exposed, right? And the DOJ has to do some of these things, to look balanced. They can't just keep going after one side. It makes it too obvious. So they throw us a bone here and there and say, oh, look, there's a Chinese spy working with the Democrats too. Then that gives them permission to go in and just attack our side with everything they got, so they can say, look, we're balanced. All crazy, all bullshit. So yes, this woman has been exposed. Her and her husband are now under arrest by the FBI for spying for the Chinese Communist Party.
Even Tank,
insane.
Even Tank last night, even Big Tank on the Leviathan episode that dropped last night, he opened up the whooping ass conversation. Yeah, he said, he goes, I didn't like Trump because he has Twitter fingers, but he was a great president. This year needs to be a Republican year. We cannot have another Democratic year. And that came out of the horse's mouth from a person that used to be a full-on Democrat and sympathizer with these people. Now, the Democrat lies. Talk to me about that, bro. What's
So
happening?
listen, so all of their lies are starting to catch up, right? You got Tim Walz, the vice president pick of Kamala Harris, the governor of Minnesota currently. He is being exposed for stolen valor, which is when you lie about your service record, right? When you lie and say that you did something, you did it, right? So he was in the National Guard, right? And he said that he was deployed to Afghanistan during 9/11. Not true. He was deployed to Italy, saw no action whatsoever. And then when he was about to be deployed to the Middle East, he quit. He retired, left his fucking men to go out there without him, right? So now this same person is up there saying how Trump is this, Trump is a liar. Listen, stolen valor, that's like the worst of the worst, bro. You don't do that. You know what I mean? You don't do that, bro. And then it gets so much deeper that he lied about his rank, the rank that he retired at. He lied about that. He lied about being in Afghanistan. He said that he used to carry the AR-15s in war, never was in war. All of these lies are slowly but surely catching up, right? And we all know Kamala Harris can't say two words without lying, right? Now she wants to say that, her values haven't changed, but your policy positions have. If your values haven't changed, but your policy positions have, that means you have zero integrity. That means you're willing to fuck yourself or your own personal beliefs to what? To get votes? That means you have no integrity, ladies. So all of these lies are slowly catching up, and that's why we're seeing psyop after psyop and all of this fucking new shit. The shooting, we're going to get into that. All of this shit is for one reason. Their lies are being exposed. That's it. That's how you know we're winning.
One of the most embarrassing things, fucked up and more condemning things that you could do in this world is not only lie, bro, but lie about who the fuck you are, specifically when it comes to stolen valor. Because there's people that die wearing the fucking uniform so that you could walk the streets and buy food and spend money and do drugs and drink and even lie. That is the most fucked up thing that you could do, bro. It's blasphemous. And it's showing disrespect for the same flag and peoples that you're trying to represent in that fucking White House. It is fucking condemning. That is fucked up, bro. And we have more information about the Democrats fucking lying. Now, I don't want to jump in too much into this, but is the Waltz family just endorsing Donald Trump, or is that a fucking psyop?
No, that's Waltz's for Trump. That is 100% true. Every single family member of the Waltzes, his brother, his cousins, his nephews, his daughter, every single family member has come out and said, listen, we love our brother, but he should be in nowhere near positions of power. Now, who knows better than them, right? They want to act like Trump's niece, right? Trump's niece, who we never, ever talked to, who's butthurt because she didn't get any money out of the deal that she tried to make. They want to make sure like that was the craziest thing. Oh, Trump's niece is against Trump. Oh, yeah, how about Tim Walz's whole fucking family? How about his whole family? Are you kidding me, bro? That tells you everything you need to know. Right there and then. If his family doesn't trust him, why the hell should we? His family's not even going to vote for him, but we should? Fuck out of here, bro.
I hear you, dog. And then, so what is RFK bringing to the table? I know you got a lot of information there. Some people are saying that he's a bug lover because he's posting things with bugs, and he's trying to. The people are saying, "No, he's for the agenda for the bug burgers."
I don't know about all that, right? But this is why I wouldn't support him for president, because of those things, right? Because of all of these random little things that he's into. That's why I wouldn't. But I will damn sure support him for a cabinet position of the Health and Human Services, running the FDA, because that man is a bulldog when it comes to big pharma involvement in big food, big agriculture. He has been a champion of that his whole life. He has litigated case after case in the courts and has won case after case and has exposed big pharma for poisoning us, has exposed big oil from poisoning, all of these things that he's done, right? So he's a good tool to have in the machine, right? To go focus his energy and put him, go attack this, attack that, attack the FDA, attack the CDC. So I think Trump sees that, right? And I think it's pretty amazing that a Kennedy endorsed a Republican for president, right? I mean, how crazy is that? The Kennedys are all Democrats, and of course,
showing fucking unity, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kennedy's family, his wife, and all of his kids, and they all hate him because he did this with Trump, because they're part of the machine. They are part of the Democrat machine, and Kennedy's were for a long time. You know what I mean? I know JFK, we all love him, but he did some shady stuff. He was working with the mob and things like that, but he was trying to do things the right way for sure. But listen, everybody has dirt in their background, right? I mean, we can only ask for, we don't get to pick our heroes sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just emerge. and the times have changed, and Kennedy understands that, and his vice president, Shannon, who he picked to be his vice president, I'm actually really impressed with her too, man, because she's pretty far left, but there's very few people that realize the war that we're in, right? There's very few people that understand it on the Republican side. Democrats, they're obviously the enemy right now, but I just think it's really important that he's going to bring whatever 7-8% he was polling at, but that 7-8% is an election swinger, right? If there are only 2-3 points separating Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, you take those 6-7 points in swing states, it's a wrap.
It's
right?
a wrap.
And that's really why they're panicking now, because they want to act like RFK has no effect and all this. He absolutely does, though, because he had a lot of the libertarian vote. He had a lot of the independent vote that was swinging their way. A lot of the people that didn't want to vote for Biden or Trump again, or the two-party system, all those people, right? Well, now what? Now RFK has come out and endorsed President Trump. So now what are you saying about that now? Yeah. Or do you realize the war that we're in? It's really that simple. And, we don't have to love RFK, everything he does or says. Is he going to do a good job with putting our health first? That man is a bulldog when it comes to our children's health, with the vaccine schedules and all the shit that's in our food. So I trust him more than I trust most. He has a record. He has a record of going after the establishment, a record of going after big corporations. So, that's what we got to look at. I pay a lot more attention to the things he's saying because he's a true patriot for what he did.
Some of them, and mentioning about bulldogs, one of the biggest gangs in Central California put out a statement also, and they were talking shit about some Venezuelan gangs. And the bulldogs, if anybody knows California, the bulldogs are in Central California. They beef it with the Southsiders and they beef it with the Northsiders. Blacks, whites, blacks, all kinds. They're the one gang in the middle of the California that would beef it with everybody, even in jail. They don't care what race you are.
Right.
The gangs in Venezuela have been affecting almost every other state, specifically those suburban areas. What information? I got some information for you too, but what information can you bring us, bro, about the Venezuelan gangs? I know people are dying to hear about this because the propaganda machine and TikTok University have been flooding all social media sites with almost fake information also.
There's a lot of fake information. They say that the Hells Angels are going down there to beat them up and shit like that and all this stuff. I can't confirm any of that. All I know, though, is the Biden administration has turned this country into a border. Every state in this country is now a border state. Every state is being affected. It's not just Mexico. It's not just Texas. It's not just Arizona. Not just California. It's literally, look how far Colorado is away from the border. No. And you got Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment buildings. Now, these apartment buildings are mostly where the migrants are being placed, right, by the state. So what happens is these migrants go into these places, right, and then these Venezuelan gangs come over, take it over. Then they pretty much took over the whole management where they're paying rent to them now. The Venezuelan gangs are your daddy in this place. They are your landlord right now, which is fucking insane, right? So they're getting all this taxpayer money, all these migrants, and now they are being extorted by these Venezuelan gangs, right? And what's crazy is that everyone's noticing that they all have cars. All these people, these Venezuelan gangs, all have nice used cars. Where the fuck are they getting all these cars from? Where are they getting all these guns from? Where are they getting this transportation to be so organized that they could take over an apartment building? Shit. How could they get so comfortable to think that they could just do that without any repercussions from the government? Oh, maybe because the government is helping them? Maybe because the government is completely involved in the situation? They have to be. With NGOs, these non-government organizations, right? They're getting all these taxpayer-funded money. We're paying for the Venezuelan gangs to take over our cities and these fucking apartment buildings. If that doesn't piss you off, if that doesn't wake you up, you are dead. You are a dead cell living in a non-player character. That's what you are. If this doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. Venezuelan gangs are slowly but surely taking over not just inner cities, but the rich areas outside the cities. And the cops aren't doing a damn thing about it. Did they have a stand down order? Is there a stand down order from the federal government not to engage these Venezuelan gangs? It certainly seems like it. It certainly seems like it.
Very interesting. Let's shed some light on the motorcycle thing. I debunked it last night, and I also debunked it on Sunday when I did the live with Catalyst Jones and Tommy Prophet on the Art of Revolution podcast on YouTube. We spoke about an hour and 30 minutes on this. So the debunking is this. SOS did put up a thing out, but coincidentally also, there's no coincidences in life. In Colorado, there is the Four Corners motorcycle rally right now. It's a big motorcycle meet. The reason I know is because my boss is a rider, and he was going to go, but he already went for vacation. He couldn't go another week. He needs to be here present for different things. So He said there is it's called Four Corners motorcycle. I think Harley Davidson rally, whatever. All these motorcycles are going out there. Now, we know that this is not the 90s. The Hells Angels are not going to get activated in any somewhere for because they have a lot of racketeering things on there. They're fighting a lot of fucking lawsuits right now and a lot of shit with the federal government. So they're not going to go off and say we're going to roll out. No.
Right.
However, in Chicago's now a war, bro. Chicago is like LA on steroids, bro. Like Chicago has the most guns on the streets illegally.
Chirac, baby. That's Chirac.
You fucked on the wrong side of town, bro. And there's videos going around with the Venezuelans are like, oh, that's old block of fucking Mama Huevo. So they're nutsuckers. They don't give a fuck. Right. And they fucked with the wrong ones, bro. Yep. They already killed one of them, blasted their brains out, knowing that they was from Tren de Aragua, TDA, whatever the fuck it's called. And in one of the chapters in Chicago, and they already put the message out. So look, this is real. Who would ever think that we as citizens would detest and we would hate being in the hood, right? We would move away from the hood. We would try to teach our kids to be better than guys in the hood. And now we could depend on the hoods to defend us, bro. It is the tables have turned indeed, bro.
For real,
it's fucking wild.
They're about to not have a job in these street gangs, bro. Listen to the game. If you guys want to fucking live your lives the way you've been living it, you better step the fuck up. Yeah. These cats are not playing, bro. And like you said, Chicago, and it's funny because I posted one of those videos of the Chicago gangster talking about how exactly what you said, that Chicago isn't Colorado. I'm sure you've seen the video.
Yeah. I posted one too. Yep, I posted that one too.
And Instagram fact checked it. What? How are you fact checking a guy in his car talking about what he's doing in Chicago, what he's gonna do, right? So that's how you know that's the real one. Yeah, that's the real one. That's the real one that they don't want you to see because they don't want people, getting this momentum of these street gangs and going after. Because listen, that's what it's gonna have to come down to. And isn't it interesting? They're trying to take our guns right when they're fucking supplying these Venezuelan gangs with guns to take over our cities. At the same time, they want to take away guns from the good guys. They want to defund the police. They want to do all of these things, right? And I think what they're doing is they want shit to get so out of control, right, that the local governments and the local police officers can't do anything about it. So they call in the federal government, and then the federal government comes in and federalizes the local police department. Then you got the feds and whoever's in the White House controlling the police in your neighborhood. That's how you affect tyrannic and totalitarianism. You got to get rid of the local police forces because they're the closest to the community, right? Your sheriff is voted in. They know the community. They're not going to turn on their own people. They're not going to go arresting law-abiding citizens, but you bet your ass the FBI will. We've been seeing what they do, right? So you got to sow so much discourse and chaos that the local police will be so overwhelmed that they have no choice but to call in the National Guard or the federal government. That's where we're at now, bro. Right before the election.
And talking about running smoke and emptying out the smoke machine, bro. So who's running out of smoke, bro? Kamala Harris peaked too soon?
Peaked way too soon, bro. They try to do this, but with the DNC and all this stuff, she got no bump from the DNC. All that money they spent, all the fucking superstars they had, all that shit they were talking, zero bump in the polls from the DNC. This is why they are panicking, right? And we're going to jump right into the psyops that they're going to start running. Because I was going to make out, we talked about it all the time, that the school shootings you can actually tell when they're going to happen, right? Because of the poll numbers and the momentum. So when you peak too early, we still got 59 days till the election. What are you going to run on? What are you? She has no policy position. There's nothing on her website. No interviews. How she's going to govern. Debate. No interview. No nothing. Right? And now she's actually being called out about it. Even CNN is calling her out about it. Right? Because they want to make money too. They want to interview the supposedly the president of the United States or whoever's running for the president of the United States. Right? So now, interesting. Right? Let's just segue right into the mass shooting. Right? Because this is a perfect segue to that. Because she peaked too early. Right, the momentum was kind of on her side. They have a new candidate. Oh my God, yeah, all cool,
it's a girl. She's black.
Trump got shot. Right, he was fucking skyrocketing. They came in here. They fucked up. Now what? A mass shooting the second day of school. The second day school started, there was another mass shooting. Where? In Georgia. What's Georgia? A swing state that is key to the Democrats winning the White House. So they went and did a mass shooting in a swing state. Right. Of course, it's a white kid. His name is Colt Gray, 14-year-old. And now, what do you know? The FBI knew about this kid. Another instance of the FBI knowing. Not only did they know about him, they actually went and talked to him in 2023 because he was making posts about what? Shooting up a school. So what changed from when he was posting about it in 2023 to actually shooting kids? What changed was the FBI intervened in this kid's life. Once the FBI got into this kid's life, all of a sudden he went from posting online to actually shooting people. That's how you know it's MK Ultra. That's how you know he got a handler. Right there in 2023, when they went to his house and they talked to him, that's when they implemented it right there. Because you're telling me 90% of all mass shooters have been contacted by the FBI? That tells me that about 90% of mass shootings are PSYOPs MK Ultra. Because you're telling me as soon as the FBI gets involved is when they turn from being a telephone tough guy on the internet into actually shooting kid. What changed? They had a full year and a summer to radicalize this kid to get him ready for this moment right now. MK Ultra 100%, bro. And you can tell by the timing, the fucking momentum was killing. The momentum was going down. She had no policy positions. Now what? Now they can run on gun control. What a perfect thing to run on for the next 59 days.
And you got the sympathizers that have so much sympathy for the families that are damaged. Of course. Fuck yeah, people died. It's fucking sad. But they're gonna fucking piggy right on that, bro. For sure.
100%. And taking law-abiding citizens' guns away would not have stopped this kid from doing what he's doing. What we need to do is put fucking armed guards in the schools. No matter what you really want to do, you can do that until you figure out what you want to do in the long run. There should be an armed guard in every single school. We protect everywhere else more than we protect our students in schools. The most vulnerable. Then you got a big sign that says gun-free zone. Why do you think they pick schools? Because they know there's nobody in there with a gun. Literally. And people that have got caught have said in interviews, I picked a school because I know there's no guns in there. They're not shooting anybody. They go for schools because they know there's no one in there to protect these children. Thank God that more people didn't die. 4 people were killed. A bunch of people were injured, 2 teachers and 2 students. And the whole thing doesn't make sense. Supposedly this kid was walking around the hall with an AR-15. Just all day long at school. Like, you try to get into a classroom, they locked him out. Like, you can't hide an AR-15, bro. It's like, where was it? Like, where was this gun this whole time? The whole shit doesn't make sense. But you just got to look at the timing, bro. He was contacted by the FBI.
This is a stupid ass making sure that you need an ID to get into the CDC, and you need an ID to buy beer. You need an ID to get tattoos. You need an ID to cross the border.
Everything
out to Mexico. Sometimes you need an ID for a lot of stupid shit, but you don't need an ID to vote in many different states, which is redundantly and it's fucking retarded and it's fucking stupid and it's fucking gay if you ask me, bro.
That's
now.
Ridiculous.
What's up with Russia, dog? Ending statements on this amazing Unity episode, bro.
Wow.
What's popping?
Russia. This is how you know these people are panicking. The same tricks coming out of the same bag. Literally, now they're saying that a Russian company or a company that's involved with the Russian government has been paying Benny Johnson, who is the big right-wing account, and Tim Pool, among others, David Rubin, paid them over $10 million to promote pro-Russian narratives, right? Now, there's not one thing they can point to, though, and say, oh, it was this video where they pushed Russian propaganda. Oh, they said this because Russia made them say it. So what this was a setup. This is how you set somebody up. Tim Pool and Benny Johnson, they had no idea that this company was involved with Russia. A company came to them and said, listen, we like what you do. We want to invest in your company. It happens all the time to podcasters, right? We can only wish for something like that to happen to us.
Oh, my God.
They said that this company never told them anything about what to post, what not to post, nothing, right? They weren't controlling them any way, shape, form, right? So now the DOJ is acting like this company was paying them to post certain things. Right. So now what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to take down these 2 accounts, Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, right before the election, 2 of the biggest accounts on the right wing influencers. They got over 2-3 million people following them. And they're going to use Russia as the excuse. This is literally Russia collusion all over again. Because if they actually cared about foreign influences in our elections, why aren't they talking about China? Why are they talking about Iran? Iran supposedly wants to kill Donald Trump. Iran hacked into the Trump campaign and leaked documents a couple months ago. No one wants to talk about that. Of course, certain countries have preferences of who they would rather see as the United States government. The question is, what are they doing to actually influence the election? They're saying Russia is what? Putting out information? Oh, so scary. Iran's trying to kill Trump. Iran is literally hacking into the Trump campaign. And you want to talk about Russia, Russia, Russia? Russia prefers Harris. He preferred Biden. He preferred Clinton because Trump is unpredictable. Putin said this. He said, I would much rather, he backed Hillary Clinton in 2016. All that Russia collusion bullshit was actually the opposite. Russia was trying to get Hillary elected because as soon as Trump got elected, he stopped the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. He put the sanctions back on Russia. So all this idea that Putin and Russia, and Trump are best friends, hell no. Trump held Putin to account. He stopped that pipeline from being built. Biden let him build it. As soon as he got back in office, he took the sanctions off, and then boom, they built that pipeline, which made Russia a billion times richer, which allowed them to do the war that they're doing in Ukraine. And
of course,
Putin and Trump are such good friends. Why didn't Putin take Ukraine while Trump was president?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do any of these things that they're doing now? Right?
They enabled them. They enabled every
100%.
single one of our enemies, and it was a lot easier. It was easy access for the Russians because then Biden focuses on something else, or anything. They're probably fucking working together. Quite frankly.
Right at this point, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But there is an anti-establishment alliance. Just you don't have this enemy. My enemy is my friend, right? When it comes down to it, Putin and our side are actually more aligned than we are with, say, France or any of these other NATO countries, right? Because Putin, he runs a Christian nationalist country that have strong borders. He puts his people first. Now, I don't agree with everything he does and the way he does it. Obviously, he is a dictator. But when it comes down to it, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And they see that there is an alliance forming, all of these BRIC nations, right? All of these things against the Western elites. It's not so much against the Western people, me and you and everybody and the American people. It's against our leaders. And they have every right to do this. They are encouraging. They keep going up into Russia's borders. They keep pushing, keep poking the bear. He's going to fucking poke back.
Yeah.
Okay, one of these days he's going to poke back, and it's going to his stick is a little bit bigger than most. He has more nuclear weapons than any other country. So you know what? It's probably a good idea that we get along with Russia. It's probably a good idea that we make these trade agreements, right, and have these peace deals in the Middle East and talking to Kim Jong-un in North Korea. That's what we want. We want to reach over these borders and shake these people's hands because we don't want war. How much money could we be saving our country right now if we weren't in wars? If we weren't spending literally $1 trillion a year we spend on our defense. If we cut that in half, $500 billion a year that we could be putting into our roads, our schools, our children, our future, all of these, our infrastructure, new airports, new bridges, all of these things that we could be doing, but we can't because we have to be the policemen of the world because our leaders are making a shit ton of money off of weapons and destruction and the death of innocent people all around the world. Yeah, so we're against that. You got that right.
Bam. And that is unity. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us know, Flash, let them know where they can find you, big dogs.
Go, man. Over on Instagram, Flashy_News1. Banger alert. Let's go.
Yo, I'm going to be dropping some trailers very soon. This episode drops right now in the next couple of hours from this moment. Make sure you check us out at Paranoid Radio Podcast at paranoidradio.com. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts that allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Thanks, Flash.
Yeah, baby.
Woo.
Paranoid Radio.